Two sisters talk about dumb shit. We hope you like it. Cause if not, then we'll kill ourselves and the blood will be on your hands. Young old!
Hello!
Welcome back to episode 12 of Young Old.
It's episode 12, but also fuck 12. We're actually gonna
Fuck 12!
This is actually episode 13 because fuck 12.
Wait, what? Why is it 12 again?
I always heard it had something to do with like police codes or whatever, but then today I saw like a tweet or like a TikTok or something that said it was actually about 12 jurors. It's about like the court, like the Supreme Court or something.
Okay.
Because like, yeah, I don't know. That's what I heard, but I don't know if that's true.
I guess we look it up. Anyway, hello. So, do you have any? How are you? Do you want to do a host chat?
Yeah. I think something that happened that was funny today was like in quarantine I dress like shit like every day.
Like absolute
like
shit.
absolute
like she
shit.
Literally, like all of her clothes are dirty. She looks like.
Well, okay. The thing is that they're not actually dirty. Like I wash them, but they just have so many stains on them.
Because shirts are wearable napkins.
Yes, that's what I call them. I call them wearable napkins. So then now when I'm eating, I can just like
wipe it.
You know,
off.
it's convenient.
Also, we don't see anyone. We're in
and it's not like I
quarantine.
purposely use the shittiest shirts I can find so that I don't feel guilty like going like that, you know?
Yeah, and it's fine. But
personally, I think it's a great system, and it works for me, and I'm a happy person. So maybe you should take notes.
It is like a comfortable way of living.
I live so
physically.
comfortably,
and I do too now. Since quarantine, I also live very
You've
comfortably.
like taken some pages from my book.
I've taken a lot of pages from your book.
AKA pants, like not having tight pants.
Like not having tight pants, yeah. Like
not having tight pants makes such a difference in your mood and day.
It really does. It also makes a difference in, for me at least, like I don't feel fat ever.
Yeah, no, same.
That's
like
all,
you feel. I mean, we were talking about this. Like I used to like dress up to the nines every day, like in high school and middle school and stuff. Yeah. We were talking about how like I was like I can't believe every day I used to like beat my face and like put on actual like outfits that like were like tight and stuff. And now I'm like, oh my god, like that could never be me. Like that sounds so uncomfortable and horrible. And I don't hate myself like that.
Yeah, I'm
no offense if you do that. But also maybe see the light.
It's absolutely crazy to me that I used to wear pants that didn't stretch every day. Like I would wear jeans that were 100% cotton every single day before quarantine. That's and now I'm like kind of relieved that a vaccine isn't going to be invented till 2021 and things like aren't going to be normal till 2021. So I'm like, oh, more sweatpants.
Right. But I mean, even when I was going to school here, like I was wearing sweatpants.
You were comfy.
I was comfy vibes always. Yes. But basically what happened today was like because I dressed like shit all the time, I like came out and I was wearing like an actual outfit and Dana was floored. She was like, she
looked so good.
Oh my goodness.
Because she never dresses up.
Yeah, and so then we took some pics to commemorate the moment and she posted one on her story and then our friend Corey was like, oh my god, I didn't even recognize her. I was like, who's your new hot friend?
Sorry, I'm feeling so tired and like
not
funny
same.
today. I'm also like really anxious about getting corona because like cases in LA County are at an all-time high.
I heard that we passed like all of Florida.
Yeah, and I can't even,
which is so embarrassing.
Which is so humiliating, like just so humiliating. But like I can't even really go outside anymore without getting like panic attacks where I start to feel like I have corona, and then it's like the kind of thing where it's like I mentally can't breathe, and so then like my mask like makes me feel like really like constricted.
Oh, are you entering?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not one of the. Yeah. No, I'm not saying my mask. I can't breathe in my mask. I would never say that. I get it. I can breathe in my mask. Okay, but I mentally can't breathe, and the mask makes it like another obstacle.
Yeah. Did you see those people speaking at like some sort of like hearing or whatever where they were deciding like
the Orange County
was that one
where
I didn't know there was like those three people and she was like,
it's my civil right to be able to exhale my carbon dioxide.
No, okay, well my highlights from that were so first the girl who's like, you're killing people with this, like people are literally dying from wearing their mask. Like you can't. And I'm like, babe, you realize it's the opposite, right?
Also, like
I'm like, babe, you realize no one's died from wearing a cloth mask, right? Like there's no and then also like people have been printing out these fake like cards that like say like you have a disability and that you can't wear a mask because of your disability, which like that doesn't exist.
Right.
There's nothing that, like, in which...
I literally saw a tweet by this guy, Solomon Giorgio, today that was like, people who are like, I don't wear masks because of health concerns. Why the fuck are you, like, outside during a pandemic?
No, literally.
Like, what do you mean you're so unhealthy you can't wear a mask, but you're, like, outside not wearing a mask during a fucking pandemic?
The other highlight from that, like, meeting or whatever was the lady who was like, so we're just throwing away God's beautiful breathing system. I was like, okay, that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Like, that is hilarious.
But no, I'm not like a mask truther. I definitely think if you're in public, wear a fucking mask. Also, if people were to wear masks, like, again, it would slowly go away.
Yeah. It's just, like, there's always
but because
we've always had rules and dress codes and, like, things like that. Like, we've always had some sort of requirement about what you can, like, wear in public. And so now... the requirement is just, like, you have to wear a mask now. Like, it's the same as no shirt, no shoes, no service. No mask, no service. Like, and also, oh my god, the video of the guy, like, he's, like, with no mask, like, at Walmart, and he's, like, literally physically fighting the employees.
To get into Walmart
and it's, like,
not wear a mask.
Dude, you realize, like, if you just, like, went, like this,
you
like, that,
walked right
you could have just walked in and you didn't have to fight anyone.
There wouldn't have been any resistance.
No one would have fought you. That video is truly so funny.
I mean, people are, like, really crazy. But... everyone is losing their minds in, like, different ways.
Yeah.
Like, I think people who are, like, crazy in the, like, Corona truthers way are getting, like, crazier in that way, and the people who are, like me, like, I'm getting more scared.
Yeah. It's a polarizing thing.
It is. But I'm only getting more scared because they're getting more, like, mad about having to, like, be safe or whatever.
Honestly, though, maybe, like, they're just looking for fights because, like, I did know that people, like, love to fight, but, like, I watched Fight Club for the first time yesterday with them.
Yeah.
And the whole time...
maybe he had just watched Fight Club.
And he just really
he wanted to get the shit beat out of him.
And, like, the whole movie, I just kept being like... you know, I don't know about y'all, but these people are kind of weird.
Well, like, and that is the point of Fight Club.
Yeah.
Is, like, it's not supposed to be aspirational, but we were realizing, like, so many guys, like, idolize that movie and, like, think it's really fucking cool because they think that they would want to be in Fight Club.
Yeah.
Which is, like, the most unhinged thing to realize.
How did men watch this and they're like, oh, like, that's me, like, I'm Tyler Durden.
But also, like, they don't get that it's making fun of toxic masculinity.
Yeah. It is. Men are stupid. Same thing with Wolf of Wall Street. They walk away with, like, oh, I should do coke and rob people. Like, that's what they get from that movie.
Absolutely, that is not the case.
Also, like, Madison Beer, who, like, I'm not really a fan of her as a person right now, but, like, I do enjoy her music.
Because of the plastic surgery stuff?
No, just, like, she's just been annoying lately. Like, she's just, like, I used to be a stan, so I'm not just, like, hating, okay? But, like, her as a person, her social media presence has been very annoying lately.
Dude, I feel like everyone's social media presence is annoying.
It's because it's unnecessary. It's like, I don't care what you have to say right now.
I think that is maybe what it is, but I'm like, oh, I've been so annoyed by, like, everyone on social, and I think it just is, like, there's so much, like, actually really horrible shit going on that everything feels so inane and so stupid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but what I was saying about Madison is, like, I still like her music. She has this one song called Tyler Durden, and it's, like, she's like, I'm in love with Tyler Durden, whatever. And I didn't think of anything of it, right? Because I had never watched Fight Club. And then after we watched Fight Club, I was like, girl, you need help. But then we came to the conclusion she probably just means Brad Pitt is hot. The translation is probably just Brad Pitt is hot, which is fine. That's a fine thing to write a song about. But the actual person, like, being in love with Tyler Durden, you need help. Yeah.
I will say, at least, it's like guys want to be Patrick Bateman, but I've never met a girl who liked Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Like, I've never met a girl who was like, Patrick Bateman
oh my
is
god,
hot.
like, I'm in love with... No.
Like, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, girls, at the very least, aren't in love with Patrick Bateman. Like, girls are in love with Ted Bundy, but at least they aren't in love with Patrick Bateman.
Ted Bundy isn't even that hot.
He's not hot.
I don't get that.
I think it's like, people are sick. Also, it's like, dating a serial killer is just like dating a guy who hates your guts, but like to the millionth degree of that. That's like my whole thing too. I'm like, I get most men hate women. You just want to find a man who's like lazy enough to not actually do anything to you. You want him to, like,
you're really setting the bar
passively.
real high for our listeners.
I'm just kidding. Robert really likes me. So, so our main event of today is the Chris D'Elia cancellation, or as I like to call it, crime reveal.
Yeah, crime reveal.
I think to
Child
say that people
porn
are trying to
reveal.
cancel him is really an understatement, because he literally committed crimes.
Cancel is for, like, if you said the N-word once in 7th grade.
Right, that's cancel. That's cancel culture. That's, like, cancel culture coming for you.
But
this is, like...
No, this is just straight up crime.
This is girls trying to get law enforcement to come for Crystalia. Last week, hundreds of girls came forward and accused Crystalia of messaging them when they were minors, asking for pictures when they were minors, trying to, like, meet up when they were minors. And he's basically, like, dead to rights. Like, there's a lot of, like, so much fucking evidence. And his management and agent dropped him.
And every day he just, like, he digs himself
his
his grave
into
further and further.
A deeper and deeper hole. The funniest clip, I think, and the most damning, like, Crystalia's for sure guilty, is the Snapchat clip.
Oh, God.
If you guys didn't see it, basically, Crystalia, realizes on a podcast that he's on, that was, like, recorded about a year ago, that you can save Snapchat.
And, like, the fear in his eyes the second he hears that is like, oh my God,
he goes,
oh my God.
But how did they find out? If you can't save Snapchats.
And they're like, yeah, you can.
Like, yeah, you can save Snapchats.
You can screen record, you can screenshot, whatever. And then he's like,
he's like this.
He's like, what? And then he just, like, you can tell his, like, mind is somewhere else the rest of, like, the segment. Like,
probably the rest of the podcast.
Probably
literally spent there. But then I'm like, you're so stupid, because, like, if you realized that a year ago, you should have come out.
Yeah, I don't think... Also, like, I don't think he stopped doing that.
No, he didn't. It's also, like, especially fucked because he plays, like, a literal pedophile in the same exact kind of way on you. In 2 shows. He plays pedophile.
Yeah. So he released a statement yesterday we were cackling about because, first of all, like, all his reps dropped him, right?
All of his reps dropped him.
And according to this article, his new
reps
reached out. And, like, we're like, okay, either these are the worst reps alive, or it's just him pretending that he has new reps. And we were like,
so basically what he did...
Wait, can I just say?
Yeah.
Robert's joke was, like, he emailed them, like, at, like, Crystalia's extremely real agents at 18islegal.com.
But he definitely sent them all of the information himself. But Page 6 published some of the emails between Crystalia and the girls. Crystalia, or Crystalia's team, sent emails between Chris and 3 of the girls that basically confirmed that Chris did in fact ask
for child porn
to take nudes, knowing they were underage.
Like, he just fully admitted to it.
And I'm like, did you think this would exonerate you?
Yeah, no. Like, his excuse was like, oh, like, yeah, this is my email, but look, she emailed me when she was older and said she was still down to fuck, and it's like, that doesn't matter. You emailed her.
And then you didn't reply when she was 21 and she wanted to fuck you.
That's actually
didn't
so
reply.
funny.
And then you asked her
21,
for nudes.
no, too old.
Yeah. Like, you're not making yourself look great. Like,
no, but yeah, like, and then when she was a minor, like, he confirmed that was his email and that he asked her for nudes. Like, does he not know that that's illegal? Like, I think he just doesn't think
I
that's
actually don't
illegal.
think he thinks that asking teenagers for nudes is illegal.
Like,
if there's anything that's been illuminated to me, I don't think he thinks... I'm like, you need to consult a lawyer, like, really soon. But I really hope he goes to jail. I just think that would be very cool.
And also,
I think that we need to make an example out of, like, these kind of, like, rich white men. And I think Crystalia is a really good kind of, like, gateway into that, because he's so hated in the comedy community that people weren't, like, that mad that people were trying to take him down.
Yeah.
Like, in the same way where, like, if a beloved comedian who's, like, beloved among other comics, if stuff like this about them had come out, I think that people wouldn't have been as, like, accepting and believing. Yeah. Which sucks to think about.
Like, because people already didn't like him.
People already didn't think he was funny, and so it was easier for them to be like, oh yeah, well, fuck Chris. But it's like, okay, but, like, what if it's a comedian that you like? Or, like, it's like how a lot of guys still support, like, Louis C.K., and it's like, well, would you support Louis C.K. still if he also wasn't funny? No.
But also just, like, I feel like he keeps being like, 18 legal. Everybody's like, 18 legal. And it's like, babes, you're 40.
Yeah.
Like, you're 40. I don't care if 18 is legal.
But it's like,
I don't
weird.
care. You are a psycho.
Do a little soul searching. Do a little reflecting. I also think that guys in their 30s and 40s who are trying to, like, get with teenagers are really bad at sex. And I know a little bit about this.
We were talking about this. Like, Crystalia has never made anyone come.
Crystalia has never made anyone come.
Ever.
Also, like, how long do you think sex with him even lasts?
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It reminds me of, like, Leonardo DiCaprio also famously, like, has sex with like a lot of underage girls, and allegedly like I've heard stories of like he wears a VR headset and like makes them turn around and like they can't like look at him, they like literally can't look back at him. And he'll wear headphones too.
Wait, okay, even if he's wearing a VR headset, what would it matter?
He fucks like young girls in the ass. And they are not allowed to turn around.
But even if they did turn around, how would he know he's wearing a VR headset?
Great question.
Wait, that's so funny.
But I'm also
actually,
I was thinking about it.
That's
wouldn't it be really funny if in the VR headset there's just like an age-appropriate woman?
That's so funny.
And he's like doing VR of like having sex with like a normal like 35-year-old woman. While he's like fucking some 18-year-old.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
Like, what's this all for? Yeah, men are disgusting. I don't even really know.
They're just weird as hell. Like,
there's also part of me that does wonder if like the kind of guys in their 30s who try to fuck teenagers are just like guys who are really bad at sex and like don't want to experiment in any other way, and the only way that they can be excited by sex is if it's like seen as taboo.
I mean, it's kind of like a chicken and the egg type thing, but honestly, I think it's like guys who are attracted to young girls like become bad at sex more. Or
that's
I don't know. It's like it's both.
I think right. It's like
okay, so they had sex with like a normal aged person and they weren't that great at it. And then instead of, like, being normal and, like, trying again and, like, improving with, like, people their own age,
they were just
instead they're like, nah, I'm just gonna call it quits and fuck people who've never had sex before. That way they have no idea if I'm bad at it. And that's kind of his strategy, you know? So you have sex with, like, normal-aged people, and then there's, like, 2 outs you can take, you know what I mean?
Right, you can either
get better at sex with people your own age, or you can continue being so bad at sex with people who've never had sex.
There's a certain kind of like famous guy who only fucks fans, and he's like never made anyone come. And that's a Hollywood like archetype. Like that's so many men that I know.
Also, like, we can all agree that like Chris D'Elia is like a 3 and like
he's disgusting.
He's really gross and stuff.
And apparently he smells really bad.
Like, I believe that he looks like he smells bad. But let's not forget that even very attractive men like Ansel Elgort can still be rapists.
Yes, and Ansel Elgort did be raping.
Yeah, and like I just like for his thing, I saw so many people being like, "Wait, like lucky, wish that was me."
And it's just
like, and you guys are psycho.
You guys are fucked up. You're actually so demented. Also, it's like almost like people don't have empathy for like situational things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what do you mean you don't have empathy for, like, even if you really like someone, you can, like, not want to have sex with them, like, in a moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, a really normal thing, and it's like, do you have no empathy?
I don't know, people are just, like, messed up. Like, when it comes to, like, this kind of thing, and it's, like, it's about a 40-year-old man and a teenager, and you automatically jump to blaming the teenager.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of rat is scurrying around in your brain pulling the wires?
Or, like, even, like, Chris D'Elia referring to
teenagers as underage women.
What do you mean underage women?
Okay, if anyone ever says underage women again, oh my God, there's no such thing as underage women. It's called girls. It's called children.
It's called a kid. But yeah, it was a big week of Chris D'Elia along with more police brutality. And it's really a bummer to think about.
Bummer is it's an understatement, but yeah.
I guess it just makes me so aware of like the way that we as a culture kind of like need to really actually stop like over sexualizing teenage girls. Mm-hmm. It's not good. It's not really working for anyone very well.
It only leads to pain.
It only leads to pain.
Also, like, a lot of people want to be, like, innocent till proven guilty. Personally, I'm guilty till proven innocent. I think we should put all men in prisons, and then we go through and see which of them are okay, and then let them out. Does that make sense?
I think that's a really good idea.
Isn't it? Because I'm guessing majority of them are bad. The thing. That's why I think we should just put all of them in prison, and then we just pick out the ones that are okay, and then they can come back to society. Also, I know that some dumbasses are going to comment thinking I'm fucking serious when I say that. You know what I mean? You're like, why you can just put all men in prison? Like, yeah, no shit. Like,
Eve has been planning a fascist regime.
Which Robert really doesn't like. But it doesn't matter because I'm gonna imprison him, so it doesn't really matter. I guess we could bring Robert in for the fascist regime.
Let's bring in Robert.
He has a lot to say about it. Hello.
I like how excited you are.
Anyway, so basically, like, if I don't become, like, you know, famous movie star, queen, whatever, I'm gonna start my own.
She doesn't become queen.
If I don't become queen, I'm gonna start.
She doesn't get the job of queen.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own fascist regime, and basically, what it is so like I'm like this all-powerful dictator like of the world, and everything is actually really pleasant. Like I've completely defunded the police. Like funds are spread through like to education and like poorer communities and like all that, like everything that you would think is like a good, like, you know, to do for society right now, right? But the thing is that the punishment for rape is that your dick gets chopped off, right? And you'd think, wow, that's like kind of harsh. But the thing is that we're actually not going to have to chop off that many dicks. We're only going to have to chop off a few before people get the message. And then the rape stops, okay? And Robert over here is not a fan of it, which I don't understand because I think it is a perfect plan, a perfect society, and everyone would thrive under my rule.
Well, here's what I would say, is I would say that I see, like, there's a slippery slope argument where, okay, let's say your dick chopping plan stops all rape, then after a year goes by, you'll be like, wait a minute, we've had a lot of white-collar crime, but you know what worked really well with our little rape problem was we just chopped their dicks off. So how about this? If you commit a white-collar crime, we'll just chop your dicks off. That'll work well. And then 2 years later...
anyone committing white-collar crime is committing a white-collar crime so they can commit a sex crime and get away with it.
And then so we should just chop their dicks off too.
I'm like, I realized, I mean, I tweeted this, but I'm like, literally the white man's the white man's American dream plan is to commit a bunch of financial crimes and not get caught for them, obviously, because they're like white men, and then use that money
and power
to commit sex
That's actually
crimes.
so true.
And I'm like, I literally, because like watching the Epstein documentary made me realize like Jeffrey Epstein, I don't even think cared about getting rich that badly. I think he wanted to get rich so that he could do the things he wanted to do.
And his motivation
which
was
were
fucking
14-year-olds, right?
First of all, like, you can say what you want, but personally, I don't think I would cut off anyone's dick for solely white-collar crime. I would wait until, I don't know, either, like, I thought they were... Like,
but this is exactly what we just saw was an example of why I will go off the rails, because Eve, you'll say, well, look, I don't want to chop off dicks solely for white-collar crime, and then Dana will lean in and be like, you know, a lot of times white men specifically will only get money and commit white-collar crime so they can be pedophiles.
Okay, but Dana,
and then the list keeps growing.
I literally think the only reason you would ever want to be a billionaire is if you're planning to be a pedophile. Like, why else would you want to be a billionaire? What are you using that money for?
Well,
it's
here's
not
my
a
thing. It's like,
pedophile sex island.
What does Jeff Bezos do?
And to blackmail your friends.
By all means,
what does Jeff Bezos
get rid of
do?
billionaires.
I mean, Jeff Bezos was never on the Epstein plane.
But he got rich after, because he was like, he was just selling books.
Oh, that's true.
Epstein's like, I don't want that book nerd in here.
Right, you're right.
I don't want that book nerd in here.
Yeah.
Cool pedophiles only.
Well, anyway, so like we've been talking about this almost every night, my fascist regime and how Robert doesn't like it. But basically what I said is like if Robert tries to start an uprising, like I'm gonna imprison him, but it's gonna be like because I'm nice, it's gonna be like a nice prison, like it's gonna be like a penthouse.
Well, he's gonna
like,
live with me.
Well, so Dana and then Dana will be allowed to live with him.
Eve's gonna exile us both together.
But then Robert said, okay, well if Dana lives with me, I'm gonna try and convince Dana to like overthrow you. And then I was like, okay, well then Dana's gonna be banished too, and then you guys can just like be banished together and like whatever. And then Dana, we also thought like Dana might like pretend to be banished just so she could just go hang.
I think ultimately Dana will just want to hang.
Yeah.
And watch TV.
I just want to hang.
Yeah, and so
I don't care what's going on with the fascist regime.
Dana and I are gonna be watching TV, and then I'm gonna hear like explosions and screaming in the distance. I'm like, what's going on out there? And Dana's like, shh.
I'm like, Eve's got it. Eve's got it. Like,
Eve's
that's
handling
Eve's
it.
thing. I'm like,
it's
that's
all
Eve's
under
thing.
control here. All under control. Anyway, so yeah, Robert will be kept like in his own facility so that he can't lead an uprising.
And doesn't that sound like a utopia?
Not that I think, but then wait, something else I said was like, maybe I will let Robert have his uprising because all of his followers will probably be rapists, and then I can just like
okay. Well, here's what I have to say. It's like, no, I'm not pro-rapist. I'm saying lock them up, throw away the key.
We're just saying if you started an anti-Eve regime, the people who would join you would likely be rapists.
I think that is a psychotic thing. I think that's
who's
psychotic.
gonna be anti-Eve? Eve is being really nice and benevolent to everyone except
Except
rapists.
for whoever
So who's gonna wanna
opposes her,
overthrow?
who she chops their dick off.
But who's gonna want to
Every man will join.
No, every man will not join because
Unless
he's being
you're
very
sex
kind to them unless they're sex offending.
Yeah.
But we've already established that we will continue. You'll continue to add the list of what constitutes sex offender. You're like, well, a white collar criminal will basically be a sex offender one day, so might as well chop their dick off.
I think you're wrong though. Yeah. Like I think that like we just like will chop off dicks of people like Crystalia and Brock Turner, and then people will be like, holy shit, I am not
those are
the first. Those
are the first 2 dicks that we'll take, and maybe the only 2 dicks.
I mean, hopefully listen. I wish that we could not take any dicks, because then that would mean that there's no rapes, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. So hopefully there will be no dick choppings because there will be no rape.
But here's the thing: if we're just creating utopia, then like, how about in this utopia? It's like it's everything you said, and then it's like, oh, there's just no more kind of like protection or leniency. Just if you commit a rape, you just go to jail forever and you lose your freedom forever. But you're not, I don't know, physically maimed.
See, the thing that I said about this is I don't want these guys to jack off. I don't want them to ever relive their rapes and feel pleasure, which is why I said they should either be chemically castrated or the dick just clean off. Because they should never ever be able to experience like happiness ever again.
Here's what's so funny. Just in week 1 of quarantine, it was like, which Harry Potter house would you be at? And at this point, Eve's like, I don't even want rapists to jack off to their memories.
I don't!
And it's like,
What's
okay.
so wrong with that? What is so wrong with never wanting a rapist to ever experience happiness ever again?
Well, that's why we lock them away and throw them away.
They can still jack off, Robert.
But I just lock them away, throw away the key. Whatever.
Robert, I think you're on the wrong side of history at this one.
If the right side of history is chopping dicks off of everyone who you deem to be evil.
No, it's not deemed to be evil, it's a rapist.
But we've already established that as soon as we said that, it's like, I feel like your regime, it's a slippery slope.
Whatever.
You'll chop off dicks, that'll work for that crime, and then a year will go by, you're still a fascist dictator.
You'll see.
Things
get
are
it, dictator.
It's gonna be great.
You're like, oh wow, wait a minute, a lot of people aren't retweeting my podcast clip. That seems like a problem. Well, what solved that little rape problem? We chop dicks off, so maybe we should just chop the dicks off everyone who doesn't retweet my podcast clip.
I would never, for the record, I would never.
And we probably wouldn't need to chop that many dicks
off.
We'd only chop off 1 or 2, and then other people will get the idea and smash that RT.
If you don't RT the podcast clip, you will not lose your dick unless you are a rapist who didn't retweet the
you're
podcast
also a
rapist.
clip. Yes. 2 things must be true for dick to come off.
So comment below,
no,
like,
retweet,
if you guys...
Also rapist. No, retweet, yes, brave. Dick off.
Yeah, so comment below if, like, you would support my regime. Again, like, aside from this, and also, I don't think that much dick chopping will have to happen before people get the message. But, like, aside from that, it's gonna be a perfect utopia.
This is, like, what every single evil dictator says. It's like, all we have to do is just set a few examples...
This is like President Snow, just so you know. That's why he had the Hunger Games. Or we could do the Hunger Games with rapists.
Yes!
Wait, what about that?
Well, I honestly, like, I think Hunger Games with rape, but the problem with that is, like, why would we want, like, a winner rapist?
Well, then we kill him. Then we chop his
think the
dick off.
idea is, like, or maybe
the winner rapist gets to chop his dick off? That's not...
we want people to want to win. So I'm trying to think. Maybe it's like we trick the winner rapist.
Like, or we make it, like, the media we show to the public is them, like, living this glamorous life, but in reality, they, like, got their dick chopped, and now they're, like, living in a cell.
But wait a minute, why would...
Well, then people would be encouraged to rape, because then they would want the opportunity to compete.
Plus, why would I, as an audience member in the districts, watch the Hunger Games? Why would I be invested at all?
Yeah, because you don't want that to happen.
Okay, ultimately, it's a flawed idea, and I'm sorry. Okay, do we want to do weird things Robert does?
Yeah, okay.
What's this segment?
So this segment is weird things. I mean, it's not a segment, it's just like
it's just for
thing right now.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, Robert wears jeans every day. Inside.
Yeah.
Number 1.
And shoes.
And shoes.
I'm not wearing shoes right now, but I'm wearing jeans. I like to feel ready to go.
Usually he wears jeans and shoes, and it's weird, and we call him out, and we're like, that's weird. It's quarantine.
That's fucking weird. Robert doesn't think long term. Like, Robert doesn't want to, like, sacrifice an hour to, like, make his life better. Like, he would rather sacrifice 10 minutes every single day forever than, like, spend 1 hour doing something that would make it so he didn't have
what
to do
they're referencing is, I never put a full tank of gas in. I always put in, like, $10 of gas, because I can't rationalize spending more than, like, $10 on gas.
And we go to the gas station every morning.
It's like every other day.
And basically, he's actually using more gas because he's constantly going back and forth to the gas station.
Not only that, Robert has a tire that I think must have a leak in it because we have to put air in it also every couple days.
Every couple weeks.
But if he simply just got a new tire, he wouldn't have to do that ever.
Oh yeah, and if he got a full tank of gas, like it would be cheaper because you wouldn't have to like
constantly be driving.
And then he wouldn't have to do it as often. Like he would just have that for like.
But like mentally, it's easier for me to justify spending $15 every couple days as opposed to like spending like $60 once.
But it
adds up to more money.
It's the same.
It's like you could spend $60 a week on gas, but you probably spend $75.
There you go.
Because of the way that you buy gas.
But what? That's like yeah. I mean, look. You're making a lot of convincing arguments.
Have you ever ran out of gas when you were driving?
Yes, and one time his car broke down on the train.
Because I drove on empty for so long that it killed my battery. So my entire battery died.
So it really came back to bite you.
And that also cost you like $500, right?
The battery ended up costing me like $250.
So think about
actually wasn't that bad.
You could have bought.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Okay, but you could have bought like
gas for $60.
5 tanks of gas.
True. But like that happened once, so now I feel like I'm in the clear for a little while. Knock on wood.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what you think that means.
I mean, it already happened, so it's not gonna happen again.
The next thing that's also really weird is he doesn't subscribe to any like music streaming services.
True.
So
oh god, this is so weird.
So when he's like running and stuff, like he goes to YouTube and then like we'll just like play a song
and
then like
and
drag
then
it back
rewind
and then
it
like
as he runs.
Yeah.
And the key is when I have it on YouTube, I have to put it full screen, then switch it back to half screen, because sometimes it'll switch to full screen while I'm jogging, and it makes it very difficult to swipe.
Imagine living like that.
Like, imagine living like that.
Sometimes what I'll do is I'll have the one song, but then I'll half screen it, and then in the background I'll search for another song, so basically I have 2 songs, like 1 second song ready to click, easy.
It's not easy.
I just don't want to use iTunes. I don't want to use like these music services.
What do you mean? You don't want to use
it seems like a lot to do. YouTube gives me flexibility.
I just think it's so funny. Like,
it
literally doesn't give you
and I'm like, that is a lot to do.
It does not give
thing
you
is a lot to do.
It makes it so you have to have YouTube open and you have to like be typing and like swiping.
Well, yeah, but if I'm in iTunes, would I just have to like have like every song?
I mean, it's a streaming thing. So
yeah.
Oh my god.
You could like make a playlist and put it on a loop and then lock your phone and put it away.
But then what if I want to?
He's like, that sounds suspiciously easy.
Well, then you just open your phone app.
But yeah, but if I have it on YouTube, I don't need to open it because actually
or you,
my
like,
phone.
make
No, but I mean, like,
playlist
okay, if
where
your
you can, like,
music is playing, though,
yeah.
it's right here when you open
right, exactly,
your phone.
Yeah. You can just go.
And then you just hit
next.
play like next
Yeah.
or like whatever.
Right.
Like it is. I mean, I don't think anyone's denying like our version is easier because it's what everybody does. You are the only person on the planet that does that because it's weird and it takes a lot more time and energy, even though you think it doesn't, but it does.
Okay, so something else weird that Robert does is he makes his own milkshakes.
I just did this.
Did you just do it?
I literally just did this.
So Robert likes to take chocolate ice cream and he likes to put it in a bowl. Why don't you describe it?
I just make my own milkshake in a bowl. So I just take chocolate ice cream, put it in a bowl, and then I take some milk, I pour it over the ice cream, and then I take a spoon and like smush it into like a milkshake consistency, and then I just kind of eat it. It's like eating a milkshake. It's like a milkshake soup.
And we just like look on in horror, in absolute horror. The last thing I have
There's been a lot of things so far.
is the warm
dairy bit. So Robert thinks it's really funny for some reason to like joke about putting a big warm bowl of sour cream and cottage cheese in the microwave.
And he thinks it's so funny and no one laughs. And everyone's just like, okay.
He's like, you know what sounds good to me? A nice, piping hot bowl of sour cream. And we're like,
what's the joke, dude? What's the joke?
like sometimes what I'll do is like if isn't it, I think it's funny if Dana's like, all right, we're ordering dinner, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, can you see if they make butter pie? And you're like, what's butter pie? I'm like, that's when
I don't ask you what's butter pie. I say, Robert, shut up.
But like, let's say you
okay, let's say I say what's butter pie.
And I go, oh, that's when I think they have it here. They just have a layer of country crock butter at the bottom of a pan, and then they pour a bunch of sriracha on top of it, some iceberg lettuce, some sour cream, and then a layer of, and this is important, piping hot mayo. Like the mayo should be bubbling. And it's called butter pie, and then you eat it with a spoon. Generally after doing cardio. I think that's so funny. It has never gotten a positive reaction.
From other people?
From anybody.
Okay. Well, at least we're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty alone.
That's pretty
here.
comforting.
I'm on an island.
Is there anything else we wanted to do with Robert?
I mean, I guess we could just expose him for not liking animals. That's pretty weird.
Robert didn't even know when his family dogs died. Like Robert grew up with 2 different dogs, Liberty and Blackie. and he had no idea when they died.
He, like, lived in Missouri and, like, on, like, a
with
rural
horses.
kind of, like, place with, like, dogs and, like, horses. And, like, those kind of kids who grow up there usually become really close with the animals
or, like,
and
obsessed
stuff.
with their animals.
And they're, like, the horses are their life, the dogs are their
Robert
life.
doesn't give a shit.
But, like, Robert does not... He didn't know when the dogs died. He hated the horses.
Well, the
like,
horse studies didn't ride, and if you don't ride horses, then they literally are just like monsters that you like bring tribute to, and they're like kicking in their stall, and they're like shaking the bars of the stall.
How many horses do you have?
All 3, I think.
Does your mom ride them?
No, but my mom likes them. She doesn't ride them.
Who ride? But
My sisters.
Didn't that just then you defeated your own point?
What do you mean?
Where you said, well, yeah, I don't like horses because I don't ride them. It's like your mom doesn't ride them.
Yeah, I think you see, yeah, well, but even then, my mom likes them like the way you would like a monster if you had a monster. Like the monsters are friends of my mom because she feeds them. But I feel like I just brought them tribute when I would feed them.
But it makes us, like, feel less bad about him not liking Biter because it's
like
not
Biter.
specific to Biter. He
Yeah,
just doesn't
it's just that he
really
doesn't
like
like
I've been very consistent about it. And with the dogs, like, I like the dogs, but it's like, what, like, Liberty, they're like big dogs. They just laid in the corner. And then I went off to college, and they died while I was at college, and I was like...
And then he, like, didn't care.
Well,
like,
they're
he
like,
didn't
oh,
care.
Liberty's dead. I'm like, I honestly thought she died months ago. So I didn't know.
And so we were hearing this last night. We were just like, wow, you're insane.
He's really weird.
Yeah.
I think it's different with big dogs.
But you don't... Biter's small, and you don't like him either.
I love Biter. Well, Biter, like, gets into the food we make. Like, he got into my cheese soup.
Oh, God, we're back to warm dairy.
Well, no, the cheese soup is when you get a bunch of cottage cheese,
my God.
and then you heat up some grapefruit juice. You put grapefruit juice, and you pour grapefruit juice over cottage cheese, and the
I don't
grapefruit
even get
juice should
how
be
I'm supposed
hot.
to react.
And
How-
the
yeah,
hot
what do you want
grapefruit
me to
juice
say?
should melt the cottage cheese so you can slurp it up with a straw.
Okay, so like if you want me
Preferably
to laugh,
after doing cardio.
if you want me to laugh, when?
Where did I expect to laugh?
When?
It's a great question.
And why? So tell me when I was supposed to laugh and why I was supposed to.
I imagine when I go cheese soup, there's one. You're laughing.
We're laughing
And then
at
Do you think
Cheese
cheese
soup
soup is a punchline? Robert, you're a very funny comedian, but cheese soup is not a punchline.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
wait, Robert, if you really think it's such a good bit, do it on stage. See
Yeah.
how people like it.
That's like asking Seinfeld, like, do an episode of Seinfeld on stage. Like, it doesn't work. It's like, it's its own... It only works in the medium it was presented in.
Because this works in the medium. It's
The hot
presented.
dairy
work.
bit
The
only
hot
works
dairy-
in the medium I presented in.
But what do you mean it works?
What's your definition of work?
It connects emotionally.
To who? I don't even know how I'm supposed to be reacting. I don't know if I'm supposed to be like, ew, Robert, or I'm supposed to be like, ha 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 ha.
Warm
Cheese
dairy.
soup.
No
Ah,
one
cottage cheese.
Hilarious.
Ha, cheese soup. Is that what you wanted? Ha, butter pie. Ha.
After
With
cardio.
the iceberg lettuce, usually after cardio. Ha.
Piping hot mayo.
Ha. Is that what you wanted?
I'll say this, I'm not sure what I want, but I know what I don't want, and it was whatever that was. Try doing it with a straight face. Try doing a version of the bit with a straight face.
You want me to do the bit?
Yeah, with a straight face. Hey, Dana, what do you want for dinner?
What about butter pie?
What's that?
Wait, try it again. Okay, hold on.
Alright, and by the way, don't just regurgitate the same thing I said to you. You have to make your own.
No, you know that I can't make my own.
Dana doesn't know how to
You
make
know
up
that I
her
don't know how to make up anything on the spot.
Alright, let's do it. Hey, I'm ordering dinner. What do you want?
Butter pie.
What's that?
You take a county crock butter, you line the
Okay,
pan
you're
with
just
that.
repeating what I said. You have to make up your own.
No, it's okay. I think she can repeat.
Okay, here we go. Wait, what is butter pie again?
Butter pie. You take county crock butter. You line a pan with that.
Country crock.
Sorry, I've never heard of this
Margarine.
before.
I know. When you said country
I don't
butter,
eat
I was like, what
margarine.
is that?
Why would I eat
Margarine.
margarine? Margarine tastes
That's
super
margarine?
weird.
Yeah, do you have a little
So
margarine?
it's not butter pie. It's
Well, yeah, but it's
margarine
like, for
pie.
butter pie, you can't make it with real butter. It needs margarine.
why?
Huh?
Why can't you make it with real butter?
Because it originated in like Williamsburg, and it was an environment where they didn't have real butter readily available. They only had margarine.
You just spit in my face.
Sorry.
You just give me.
Eve, you try it. What do you want for?
Yeah.
Try to do a
Yeah.
different one.
You do a
Hey,
different
Eve, I'm
one.
ordering dinner. What do you want?
I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood for like maybe like a sour cream, like boiling type thing with like maybe some like clam boiled sour, like
Wait.
sour cream, clams boiled in sour cream.
You want? So I would.
And then
I would
we-
put sour cream in a pot and I would boil
drinks
it.
up at the door.
until it boils, and then you put the clams in, and then like you open up the clams and you pour in some melted margarine.
Does anyone hear this?
And then you close the clams back up and you boil them again.
Do you have a dog?
It sounds like it tastes awful.
Wow, this has gone on too long. Well, that was
interesting.
Not fun at all. Also, he was like, well, you do it. Like, it's like doing the warm dairy bit is like so hard.
Yeah, it's not hard to come
It's
up
not,
with
it's just
warm dairy. Could I do it? No. So we're gonna do How's Our Mom?
She got a tummy tuck for that bikini body baby.
Plastic surgery.
Yes.
Our mom growing up was very anti-plastic surgery, and I'm glad that she decided to take the leap and to do something that made her feel better about her body.
I mean, honestly, I can't wait to see the results.
Me neither. Also because as long as I've known her, she's had she just did have a C-section with me and with my brother and you, right?
All of us?
Wait, can you give natural birth if you get a C-section?
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, I was definitely a C-section. Because I was a C-section, she has a lot of loose skin from the C-section, and she just never got rid of it. And then she finally got rid of it. And I hope she's doing great. Should we call her?
She called me just to check in.
Got it. Maybe we shouldn't call her, because I need to call her.
Yeah.
But she's doing good.
So, last episode, we tried to prank her by pretending to be calling for a prison, but she does not pick up from unknown numbers, so she never picked up. And today, she saw the episode, and she texted us and was like, you can't prank me. Anyways, and then she called me, and she was like, Eve, I'm in prison. Was caught shoplifting, and I was like, oh my god, you're so funny.
Ha ha ha. That's still better than the warm dairy bit.
It's still better than the warm dairy bit.
Robert, take notes.
Yeah. And apparently our brother actually has really risen to the occasion of taking care of her post tummy tuck.
Interesting.
So
that's good.
So boomer moments.
I have been learning TikTok dances again.
Yes.
Gotten back into the swing of learning TikTok dances. I record them and then I post them on private so that I can keep them for myself. And no one sees them. And using social media in that way is truly the most old person thing you could possibly do.
And she'll come into my room and prop up her phone and start doing her dance, and I'll look at her because she came into my room and started doing her dance, and then she gets all self-conscious and she's like, oh my god, stop staring at me, stop watching me. And I'm like, bitch, you came into my room. And then I go outside to smoke weed, and then she follows me outside and puts her phone up and then is still looking at me watching her. And I'm like, you realize you followed me here, right?
What's your boomer moment?
My boomer moment is, did I ever mention the gray hair on here? Maybe
I think you did mention the gray hair.
But the thing is that the other day I thought I saw another one and I was freaking out, but then I realized it was just Biter's hair.
Oh.
And it was okay. So then I was like, oh, thank goodness.
He really does shine so much.
I know, yeah. Okay, well, enemy of the week.
Oh, yes, enemy of the week.
Enemy of the week. Oh, yeah, so my enemy of the week is Gabby Hanna. She's basically just this random fine art gone YouTuber, and I follow her on I hate follow her on Twitter just for funsies, and almost everything she posts is just so stupid, and that's really all I have to say about it. She just first of all, she loves being a victim, no matter what is happening. And she also always has to make every situation about her. Anyways, and she gets bullied mercilessly on TikTok.
That's so funny.
Mercilessly. I don't know the details of this story, but allegedly there was, one of her friends was, assaulted by one of Gabby's friends. And then Gabby told her, oh my god, Chris and his friends didn't rape you, or something like that. She just was a weird rape defender or something like that. I don't know the details of that situation, but I don't know. She just is my enemy of the week, okay? Because she's annoying and dumb. There, I said
that's
it.
Fine. That's
there, and that's what enemy of the week is. It's just somebody who just kind of pisses you off, annoyed by.
My enemy of the week is a kid I went to high school with who responded to one of my stories in which I did a Q&A on my Instagram story the other day, and someone asked me a question, what is the hypotenuse? And I just said C squared because that's what I thought the hypotenuse was, and he DM'd me and was like, actually it's C, that's really bothering me. And
also, that's not, it's A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Right, isn't that the hypotenuse?
Yes. I mean, well,
Anyway.
technically it's C because it's like you would square it, I guess.
Right.
It's like if you label it A, B, and C, C is the hypotenuse, I
Right.
guess. But it's like how to find the hypotenuse is
A squared
plus B squared equals C
squared.
squared.
No, he's right then, because it would be
'Cause
like,
it is C,
it's the C.
technically.
It's a square root of C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But like
Or
he
the
didn't
C
have to
inverse
well
of that.
actually.
But he
do
didn't
like
have to
that.
well actually. Also, because it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Kid
your
from
mom-
high school, you're canceled. You're blocked.
He's not. Well, I'm not gonna cancel.
No,
him.
but, like,
I
in-
liked the message.
in my
I was like,
head.
yeah, sure, it's C. He was better at math than me in school.
But that's all he has now.
That's all he has. So I'm glad you're still better at math because I'm thriving. How? Not sure. By not doing math. By not telling other people what the hypotenuse is. That's how I'm doing better. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We hope this episode was okay. I'm feeling weird. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I hope you can forgive me. Sorry.
Okay.
No,
whatever that was.
I take it back. I take it all back. I take it all back.
Embarrassing.
I'm humiliated. I've humiliated myself.
Well, thank you guys.
Tune
for
back
tuning
in next week.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Bye.
Bye.